Hi there, this is Jennifer with Rome Fields, and today is day 80 of our 100 days of knit stitches. And today's stitch is called the Brioche Stitch. I don't know if that's how you say it or not. It's B-R-I-O-C-H-E. This is just a very basic introductory to it because you can get really fancy with this stitch. It is definitely one I've been wanting to do for years. I've been very intimidated by it. It looks too advanced, but I am going to give the basic a try. And I'm going to start, as you can see, with casting on because there is a setup row. The first row is different than all the rest, but you want to cast on in an even number of stitches. I'm going to do 10 just to keep it a little short. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. How about 8? We'll do 8 stitches. I could probably get 10 on there though. We'll do 10 so then you guys can see how you can still get the most out of that yarn there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I have just a little bitty tail. All right, so the first row is the wrong side of your work. And we want the yarn in front. And for those of you that knit continental style, I watched some videos on this and all I could find was the English style. So I hope that I'm doing this correctly. It looked correct whenever I was finished. All right, so your setup row, you want to slip the first stitch and then we're going to create a yarn over. And I didn't use any tension, or I try to remember not to use any tension, so it's nice and loose. So we slipped that first stitch with the yarn in the front. And now we're going to yarn over. I'm going to keep a hold of that tail because that loosened up. So we're going to yarn over and then we're going to knit one. Oh. But we're going to repeat that again. So we're going to, with our yarn in front, we're going to slip the stitch, yarn over. So we're crossing that yarn over and we're going to knit one. With the yarn in front, slip it purlwise, cross the yarn over, knit one. Bring the yarn in front, slip, yarn cross over, knit one. Bring the yarn in front, slip, cross over, and knit one. So you have all these yarn overs, not yarn overs, they're yarn crossovers. All right, now that is your setup row. All of the other rows are exactly the same. So your first stitch is going to be the same. So we're going to bring the yarn into the front and we're going to slip. That's kind of hard to see with that yarn there. So we're going to slip that first stitch with the yarn in front, and then I'm going to yarn over, bring the yarn back into the back, and kind of hold on to that. And then we have that yarn over and that knit stitch. We're going to knit those two together. And that's what they're calling is the brioche. Knit two together. So those two, we're just going to repeat those 2 stitches over and over again. So with yarn in front, slip, cross over, knit 2 together. Yarn in front, slip, cross over, knit 2 together. Yarn in front, slip, cross over, knit 2 together. Slip off. We're going to yarn in front, slip 1, cross over, and knit 2 together. And then we're going to repeat. Pull that tail. Every row. So we're going to start with our yarn in front. So we're going to slip 1 purlwise, slip 1 purlwise, and then yarn over, knit 2 together. Yarn in front. So we're slipping that knitted stitch. We're going to cross over that knitted stitch to create a yarn over, and then we're knitting those 2 together. So yarn in front, slip 1, yarn over it to cross over, and knit those 2 together. Yarn in front, slip 1, oh, not into the back, we're going to cross over it and knit 2 together. Yarn in front, slip 1, cross over, knit 2 together. So whenever you're counting your stitches, you should still have quote unquote 10 stitches. So they're counting this as 1 stitch. So that's 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, I'll go ahead and do it one more time, and then I'll work on it, and then I'll come back and show you. So, oops, we want yarn in front, slip 1, yarn over, knit 2 together. Repeat. Yarn in front, slip 1, yarn cross over, knit 2 together. Yarn in front, slip 1, cross over, knit 2 together. Yarn in front, slip 1, cross over, knit 2 together. Yarn in front, slip 1, cross over, knit 2 together. Chanting does help me. Repeating it over and over again. So that's kind of what it looks like, and it looks like the same stitch on both sides. So it's reversible. So I'm going to knit this up a little bit more, and then I'll come back and show you what it looks like. Alrighty, I'm back, and I have knitted a few more rows, and this is probably one of the squishiest stitches. It is beautiful. I am really enjoying this stitch. It was really easy. So if at all possible, don't read the instructions. Just watch the video. It's super, super simple. I'm going to do one more row without tension. So I'm going to slip the first stitch, cross over, knit 2 together. Yarn in front, slip, cross over, knit 2 together. Yarn in front, slip stitch, cross, not that, cross over, knit 2 together. Yarn in front, slip stitch, cross over, knit 2 together. Yarn in front, slip stitch, cross over, knit 2 together. And the front and the back look exactly the same. I haven't had a new favorite stitch in a while, but I think this one might be it. I love that. I love the texture. So that is just awesome. So I was playing with different ways to bind this off. And the way that I liked best was I'm going to purl that first stitch, and I make that loop a little bit bigger. And then I'm going to knit these 2 together, and I don't use any tension, and then bind off. So I'm doing the knit 1, purl 1 pattern. So I'm going to purl that stitch, and then I'm going to knit those 2 together. So we're going to leave the brioche together. So I'm going to purl that stitch, and knit 2 together. Oops, and I got to grab it. purl that one. I thought this gave it the nicest or cleanest edge, I guess. Knit two together. And sometimes when binding off, I like to bump up my needle size a couple, just so I know it's a nice loose stitch. Some extra slack there. So it still leaned a little bit, even though I gave it that extra loose stitch on the first one. But I think that gives it a nice clean edge. Whenever you bind it off, it looks nice. So you can see the whole thing there where I cast on and I bound it off. So that was the brioche stitch, much easier than it looks. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's new stitch as much as I did, and I hope to see you guys again tomorrow, and thank you so much for watching.